Hey guys, this is Lee, Modern Overdrive, and a friend of mine on Facebook, Jennifer Clackle, did a tag thing where she listed the most influential albums of her life, and she tagged me to do it. So I kind of had questions. I didn't know what she meant by influential. Could it be just favorite, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she said, sure, why not? So what I'm going to do is list 15 of my favorite albums. And by the way, these are in no particular order. Nevermind by Nirvana. Basically, the grunge movement started with this album. They had an album before this, Bleach, but this is what really got them big. This had Smells Like Teen Spirit and Come As You Are on it. I think my favorite song on this album, it is hard to say. Probably Smells Like Teen Spirit, I guess. It's also an iconic album cover too. Queen, A Night at the Opera. Of course, this is known mostly because it has Bohemian Rhapsody on it. But the thing is, this album has so many different styles on it. It's really almost like a mixtape by the same artist. My favorite songs on this one are actually, Lacin' on a Sunday Afternoon is really good. I'm in Love with My Car. Roger Taylor sings on that one. 39. I think 39 is my favorite song on this album. That and the Prophet song. The Prophet song is really great to listen to on headphones. Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden. A lot of people would probably criticize me for suggesting this one, but I love this album. The album cover is really cool. The painting, I'm going to pull this cassette out. The painting is stretched across the front and the back and has references to previous songs on it. Actually, do that there. And let me see, somewhere in this album, right there, there's the TARDIS. Somebody pointed that out to me recently. I'm like, oh, cool. This album is really good. Standout tracks, Caught Somewhere in Time, Wasted Years, actually the whole album, really. I think my favorite song is Caught Somewhere in Time. And Alexander the Great. Rush, Moving Pictures. I've seen Rush once in concert, but I got so lucky because it was the Time Machine tour and they played this album in its entirety. So this album is just epically good. It has Tom Sawyer on it, Red Barchetta, Limelight, YYZ, one of the greatest instrumentals of all time. This whole album is really good. My favorite song on it is actually Witch Hunt. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Say what you want about Guns N' Roses, but this is an absolutely killer album. Of course, this has Welcome to the Jungle and Sweet Child of Mine on it. My favorite song on it is Rocket Queen, the last song. That and Mr. Brownstone. Enough of the cassettes, let's get to CDs now. Master of Puppets by Metallica. This is the best album they ever put out. Absolutely brilliant. My favorite song on this album, Disposable Heroes. More recent, Speak Now by Taylor Swift. I get a lot of crap for liking Taylor Swift. I don't know why. I love her music. And this album is just full of absolutely brilliant songs. This is the one with Sparks Fly, Mine, Better Than Revenge. My favorite song on this album is Enchanted. And I also like Long Live too. Rio by Duran Duran. Now the thing is, I didn't say earlier that I'm limiting these to one album per artist, because if I didn't, this list would be full of Duran Duran stuff, because Duran Duran is my favorite band. They've put out a lot of good albums. Seven and the Ragged Tiger, All You Need Is Now, Notorious, the first Duran Duran album, the Wedding album, but this is the big one. This is still my favorite. It's the one with most recognizable hits on it. Hungry Like the Wolf, Rio, Save a Prayer. But my favorite song on this album is New Religion. You really need to check that out. That is awesome. Now let's go to big ol' LPs. Any album that spends 17 years in the top 200 has got to be good. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. One of the greatest albums of all time. Has the poster in the middle of it and had some other stuff in it. This is the one with Money and Time on it. My favorite song on this album is Us and Them. You can't have a top 10, 15 most influential, awesome albums, whatever you want to call this, without having a Beatles album on there. Sgt. Pepper, my favorite Beatles album. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Pretty much every song on this album is iconic. My favorite song on here is Within You, Without You, which is a George Harrison number. Destroyer by Kiss. Kiss was the first band I ever got into, and this is their best album. This is the one with Detroit Rock City on it, King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder. My favorite song on this album is actually Sweet Pain and Great Expectations. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. You know, they play these songs a lot on the radio, and I don't think this album really gets enough credit to be recognized as how good it actually is. It has the Logical song on it, Goodbye Stranger. Those are the two big songs. But every song on this album is really super good. My favorite one on this album is Just Another Nervous Wreck. Candio by the Cars. My favorite Cars album, I've got like 2 or 3 of them. So I've got the Cars and I've got Heartbeat City. This album is just really, really good. My favorite song on it is Night Spots. I love Night Spots. I want to cover it someday, I think. But it also has Dangerous Type and Let's Go on it. Prince and the Revolution. Purple Rain. This is a really good album. Prince is really underrated as a guitar player, I think. This is the one with, of course, When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy. Let's Go Crazy is one of my favorite songs of all time. But I think my favorite song on this album actually is The Beautiful Ones. And finally, From the Inside by Alice Cooper. Does that. On the back it has the little door with everybody being released. This was written after Alice Cooper spent some time in an insane asylum for alcohol dependency. They didn't have rehab back then, so if you had an alcohol problem, they sent you to an insane asylum. This was back in the 70s. And this was written about a lot of the characters he met in this insane asylum. And it's a pretty cool little, almost concept album, really. My favorite song on this album is Wish I Was Born in Beverly Hills. Okay, so I am supposed to tag people. I'm going to tag my brother Ken Spitzer. Now you don't have to do a video for this. You can just put a text into Facebook or whatever. But I'm going to tag my brother Ken Spitzer and just anybody else who is watching. Let me know what 15 albums influenced you the most, or what are your favorite 15 albums. Have a good week. Bye.